Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I want to sincerely apologize. I traveled last week and then I traveled to the east. So I think the mentality of that place started affecting me now I came back. I've been in the office since 7 or 7:30. Then I decided to just go and do a transaction in the bank, thinking I'll come back in the next 1 hour. And then Lagos traffic and Wahala now held me. So I'm so sorry for keeping us a few minutes away from our time. So, how many of us are feeling Christmas already? We are feeling the heat of Christmas, so it's coming. It's coming, and before you know it, the whole Almighty 2021 will be over. We thank God for grace and so far and how far He has led us. So, when we are discussing and doing our research on our topic and seminars for today, I decided and said, okay, this is Christmas, and we'll be meeting different people. Prospects want to reach out to for business and all that. So I said, let's talk about negotiation in real estate, the art of negotiation in real estate. Because I discovered that so many business deals have failed, not because the parties involved were not interested, but because the negotiation did not go well. So that was why it was not they were not able to close that deal. Because before you were able to close any deal, there must be negotiations about whatever you are selling. In Nigeria is a place where it is difficult to do anything without negotiation. Even if you go to ShopRite where they have fixed price of things in that place, sometimes you feel like you're saying 2,000. Are you sure this is the last price? Most times we are used to that negotiation. That's why many of us will even travel abroad and will go there and continue the same thing because abroad they don't have that system there. And when it comes to some other business, they do it more of when they tell this is the price, that's the price. But here in Nigeria, we don't believe that price is the last price. We believe if we go further or if we dig deeper, we'll be able to bring out a very good price for the deal. And that is why we do this negotiation something. And by God's grace, I am development and all that. I mean, someone who is able to do that. I try to negotiate. I've been in the system where many people call me and say, okay, help me negotiate with this person. How many of my friends, when they want to close a deal, they just give me their phone, the WhatsApp chat, and say, continue with this person, continue the business chat with this person. Now, the person is saying their name, everything, their picture, but I'm the one chatting. So I know how to follow these people in negotiations because of things I've learned so far. So many times, why many of us are not really able to close these deals because we did not do the negotiations very, very well. That person might like, let me just back off. I'm not interested in this business again. So because anybody that wants to bring out 1 million naira in this country wants to give you some little headache. They want to stress you just because I want to withdraw money from a POS person. And I said I don't have card. What I want to do is transfer. And I told him, okay, just give me the cash. I'll do transfer for. Let me go to my office first. I'm coming. I'm in a hurry. He was telling me, no, I don't want to do that one. No. Maybe now they will not transfer the money to me now. Maybe they will hold the money now. This and that. He was trying to stress me. I said, I'm your neighbor in this plaza. Don't you know me? I'm your neighbor. I will still be here till 10 p.m. in the night. What am I running to? Is it not 1K? I was like, no, they need to stress me small so that I understand. Now, when that time comes, I will not be like, okay, because human beings are like that. Human beings have this reluctancy spirit and all that. Okay, because you just gave me 1K, I will not forget about transferring the money back to you and all that. So he was trying to stress me for me to see the importance of sending him that money no matter what. So this is why I also talk about negotiations, this kind of stuffs. So now we are talking about mainly in the real estate business. Although many of the things we teach here, like we said, is beyond real estate. We call it business to real estate masterclass. So one of the things you learn here are things you're going to apply in other things you do, like other businesses you attend to, on how to relate with people generally. That's something that is very, very, very important. When you are doing business, your first impression matters. How you talk to people, how you relate with them matters. Very, very important. So let's move forward. Now, I'm going to be sharing 10 tips within some minutes. I'm going to be sharing 10 tips to win a real estate negotiation. I'll be sharing 10 tips. When people are trying to buy from you, make inquiries from you, if you can be able to know and understand these 10 tips, you'll be able to perfect your negotiations very, very, very well. Now, negotiating is an art, a skill, and a science. In the world of real estate, understanding how to negotiate is a must before you approach the negotiation table. Get familiar with these 10 tips to win any negotiation in real estate. Now, Look at what got my attention. This thing called negotiation is an act. Art is a skill and a science. We deal with people many times that many of these people we deal with are people that have passed through so many trainings, psychological training, philosophy, and other stuff. So even your behavior tells them whether to enter the deal or not. Your physical behavior, your approach, everything you do. That's why this thing called negotiation is an act. Even the way you dress shows that you are coming for negotiation. The way you walk into the office shows the same thing. The car you drove while coming, the way you approach the receptionist, everything you are doing, even before appearing on that table, everything you are doing, you're negotiating. So that is why even gate man you are meeting the gate is negotiation. That is why you must have this mentality of this is a skill I'm applying here. It's a science I'm constructing. Okay? Because as a way you approach the gate man self, they'll not be able to open the access for you. So that is why I carefully construct my negotiations. I carefully construct everything I do from the gate man to whatever who I'm going to meet. As far as you are trying to meet somebody for a business deal, everything you do from the step one matters. Everything matters. Everybody you meet matters. So it is a skill, it's a science, and it's an act. Negotiations. Mastering these things will make your transactions very, very easy and productive. Now let's move forward. Now, let me give you the number one tip. Number one tip says, never act too excited in a deal. Every deal is important. However, hide your emotions. Don't overshare in an attempt to make yourself look better. And just touch the camera. Continue the camera. Now look at what he said. Talk less and listen more. Silence is the loudest word in between pauses of silence. The fear of losing potential deal will intimidate the person on the other side of the negotiation table. This can be leveraged to the outcome of your choice. Now, remember that this thing we're talking about here is not just something we just put out of the blue, construct words and start reading. All these things have been carefully packaged because of people's experiences while negotiating. Now, one of the tips that you must do to get this thing done is never act too excited. Never act too excited. Yes, you are excited. It's a huge deal that will give you 10 million naira profit. Yes, you are excited in your spirit, but don't act, balance it. Don't act too excited. I've seen people, now remember, excitement is beyond feeling happy. Like, okay, yeah, big deal, 10 million is beyond that. Excitement can also be being too desperate. You're telling the person, when are you coming? When are you coming? That's you are excited in your spirit. So it has two ways. Either you are depressed or you are, excited, like you are desperate for that thing to come to pass. So don't overdo it. Don't never act. It can happen to you, but don't show it. Don't act too excited. Because that will spoil the whole deal. That will spoil the whole movement. No matter what I want to do in this life. No matter, look at what they said. It says, talk less and listen more. Silence is the loudest word. In between pauses of silence, the fear of losing the potential deal will intimidate the person on the other side of the negotiation table. When you pause a particular movement, it's not as if you have paused it forever. Let's say you have been reaching out to a client or a prospect and they said, okay, they are going to buy. And it's as if every day, the one reminding them, hello, sir, good morning, sir. That person will not buy again. Because now they are seeing you're becoming too desperate of this deal. Are you sure it's not a scam? So give them some time, some breathing space. Allow them. Yes, you need the deal. You want to close that deal. But sometimes just ignore them. Just allow them. Most times I have clients that will chat me up for something and I want to really close that deal. I will tell them I'm ready. I want to do this. I want to sell it to you. But as far as they're not bringing that, enthusiasm of coming to follow up, I'll just give them some space. Sometimes 1 week, I'll be like, how far about this thing you said? Are you still interested? Because I don't want to show you that I want this thing. Because most of them will be like, are you sure you're not trying to scam? This one, you are always in a hurry. This one, I don't do anything. No matter how promising the business is, if you're always disturbing me, when are you coming? Are you not coming again? I'm not going. I am not going. Personally, me. So imagine me in my small level now. So imagine all these big men. They hate disturbance. They hate this desperate. They just don't show it. Don't act too excited. Many a times we see a deal, and many of us, this is one thing I tell my people. You see, whenever, as far as you have not closed that deal, as far as they have not sent you advance payment, because once you just get alert on your phone, okay, that means the deal is sealed. Okay, is a promising deal already. Now, as far as I've not gotten that move yet, don't come and summarize what you're using your profits to do. That's a problem. Many a times, a deal just knocks on the table. Boy, you've already summarized and say, this money now. I always use and buy this our furniture now. I always use and buy TV. Christmas is set now. That thing will disappoint you and it will fail you. And it will make you now look desperate. It will make you now look disappointed. So most times, no matter how huge the deal is coming, promising deal and all that, I take my time. I tell myself, this thing never enter. This thing never enter until you enter. Yes, you can expect. Most of will be like, once it just comes now, just send Chibike to abroad now. Let me just go to America and stay. Now start calling traveling agents. Please help me check how much his flight. Those things, you're trying to break your heart the more. Because you are putting more engagement in this stuff. And that will not make you start acting, because most times the way we act is not just because we want to act that way. Most times what we act is by things that have entered into our subconscious mind. Last time I was teaching, I was giving an instance about branding, how all these brands enters our head and our mind. You just be walking on the road, you see Peak Milk. Nothing concerns you on Peak Milk. You're not thinking about milk. You just saw Peak Milk on the billboard and you pass. You enter bus, you see another one. Now, one day you'll be going to buy milk and they'll ask you, which one do you want? Peak. You say, give me Peak. You don't even know when you said, give me Peak, because you have been seeing Peak as been into your subconscious mind. So that is why these things, so many times, when you now summarize what you want to do with that money, you want to buy a car with the money, you want to pay house rent, it now makes you not want to do extra to make sure you close that deal. At that point, you're not becoming too excited and too desperate. And most times, the deal will fail or you make a mistake. Most times, they'll be asking you, are there any hidden fees for the land? You say, no hidden fees, because you don't want to spoil the deal. And when the person now enters the deal, they now discover there's other fees to pay. Now you don't enter Wala. Now you have become a scammer, or you have become somebody that was not trustworthy. And not because you were too excited. So these things are very, very important to close the deal. Let's move on. Now, number 2, knowledge is power. Know your goals. Knowledge is power. Educate yourself on successful real estate investors. Make relationship with the city planners in the country you are looking in. Educate yourself in zoning and uses. Knowledge is a valuable addition to a seller, client, tenant, or buyer. Always add value to the opposing side and watch the magic unfold. Now, what I'm trying to say is this: have relationship with people in the same business you are in. Have this knowledge. Have this knowledge. For instance, now you can't say you want to sell for C-Plat, you want to sell for second garden estates, and you don't have relationship with people working in C-Plat, the staff, the managers, the MD and others, because these are people that will help you go extra, making sure you close that deals. They're talking about investors, zoning, and all these things. I happened to have an experience earlier this year. My brother wanted to buy land somewhere in Ibijuleki, and he called me and said, okay, since you're into real estate, let me call you to make inquiries. Now, he sent me the realtor's number. The realtor was not calling me, and we were discussing together. So I was asking her, so this one you people are telling me the title is propose a session and all that. How far about it? She now said, okay, that's what the company says the title is. They are still working on the title to make sure it's maybe CFO or whatever. Now, but she said something. She said, okay, don't worry. She said, let me call people I have in the survey office in Lagos. Let me call them for them to check the land for me. So for them to check if the land is secure or if the land is okay, if it's something that is good to go, before the company now gets to the point when they get the title. I said, okay, no problem, go ahead. So she now called me back and said, no, I should leave that. I should tell my brother to leave that particular land. Let her look for another place for him. No, that's because she has that knowledge. It's not just about selling for the company and selling. Do you know some other backyard research you can do to confirm? Now, thank God for C-Plat, because I've been working for C-Plat for years and they are trustworthy. But other people, are you sure they are trustworthy? These are some things you need to know about, do research about, to know that you don't enter trouble because you're trying to sell land to people. because that is you they know after everything. So having some of this relationship with people, contact and all that. Mr. Ditton was telling me the other time we were in Enugu for a conference, and was telling me about people, big time players in the industry that we need to meet because of relationship. These are people that will help you get things done easily because you have relationship with them. They can, you can ask them questions and they will answer you because they have those knowledge. So in closing your deals, try to understand these things, the land you are selling, all those things, so you'll be able to be on the winning side of the whole game. Let's move on. Trust should be earned, not lost. This is a basic concept. Never lie. Lies will always be discovered and you will be held responsible. Doesn't sound like a good time. It's not. There's leverage in trust. Always do the right thing. Display trustworthy actions and watch your negotiations work themselves out. Trust and negotiations work in tandem in real estate and beyond. Now, this is something we always experience most times at the end of the system or at the end of the deal or the game. This thing called trust is something that always comes back to people every time. And once it comes with the issues of money, once it comes to money matter, trust is very, very important. Now, remember our number one tip said, don't get too excited. It is by being too excited that you start trying to do many things. But if you can take your time, balance your own self. Now, remember, hear this for me, please. Everybody hear this. You will not close every deal. Not every sale is your own. If only you understand this thing, not every sale is your own. I do photography where I cover events for people, I cover weddings and all that. Most times, clients will come, who will agree on the price. The only thing we are waiting for is just for them to send me advance payment for us to secure the date. And after the long run, they'll tell me, forget, my brother said blah, 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 blah. One thing I tell myself is that means that job was not for me to do. That's why it did not work out. Not every deal is for you to close. Some of them will bring back more deals in the future. So that is why you must have your integrity intact. You must have your trust. Let people trust you that you're telling them the truth. Now, if they do not buy from you, but they'll say, this person was telling me the truth last. They will try to recommend it to other people. Human beings have a way of paying people most times. Yeah, they do not buy from you, but they discover this person is trustworthy. He's truthful. Everything he said is true. That means I will recommend my brother to him or her. So don't do anything because this thing called lie, it always come back. It always come back, to be like, you'll be like, Shebi, you said it was this thing. So don't try to engage yourself in such things because you're trying to close the deal. No. Build your trust. Build trust. Very, very important. Build trust. Something happened to me that was last week. I traveled to the village and my dad was complaining. He told me to go and buy, that was about 20 bags of cement. Now they were doing floor in the house. So he was complaining that these people are just eating money, cement and every stuff. I told him, what happened? Should people discuss this budget and everything, how much it will cost? So they now told me that I was asking the guy in charge, the amazing guy. He told me that this thing, that's their tricks in this business. That they have checked, that they know that if they want to tell anybody the full amount it will cost to do everything, and they will run away. They'll be like, I don't get that money, now I can leave them now. So they will tell you small amount of money. They tell just one, they might tell just one tip of sand or 2 tips of sand, then 20 bags of cement, then everything will finish. So when you now enter the thing and say, it's 400K that will cover everything. When you now enter, that 400K is just giving you half. You'll be like, guys, cement is not finish you. And at that point, you don't have any other choice than to buy more because you want to finish the job. But initially, that was not your plan. So I laughed. I said, these are you people's, corny way of doing this business. Now, they might be right. But you see, tomorrow now, if I call that man and say, how much will it cost me to do this thing? And my guy is 500K. Something will tell me, this guy, are you sure you can trust him? Because I've had an experience before. So I'll be like, I cannot trust this at 500K. Let me go and meet with somebody else that will ask to be sure I want to know what I'm getting into. Now, but whether you lose the deal or not, if you're able to tell me, sir, this thing will cost you 500K, and I do everything I check that it's 500K that it will cost me, that will make me trust you next time, even if you want to lie next time. So always build this thing. It should be earned, not lost. Let people earn trust from you that, this person is trustworthy. This man, this woman that's telling me that this land is, I think I met somebody. Okay, somebody was sending me a piece of land he wants to sell. And he told me it's 8 million naira in Ikeja. I don't know what he was talking about. I said, okay, no problem. So he was telling me that, okay, since I want to market the land, I can tell the person 9 million after. I said, no, sir. In real estate, we don't do that. From the company that they will tell us the amount of the land, and you set the same price. You don't say. Somebody was asking me, about this rental stuff, and he was saying, okay, since people are selling 2.5, that means I can market 3 million. I said, no, it's not. I said, say 2.5. He said, no, how do I make profit? I said, you make profit from your commission. He said, no, that will not be enough. So these are the things people are trying to do, all this mago. So earn trust. You don't want, because you see this thing called lie. Lie is so difficult to keep. It's so stressful. So imagine now you want to lie in C plat now. You now take flyer. That means flyer is showing 2.5. You have to go and redesign the flyer. Print again, 3 million naira. You have to start doing so many things to cover up that lie. What if the person calls the complaint line? What if the person calls the MD? So you'll be fighting so many battles just to make sure you cover up the lie. And after everything, one thing about truth will always prevail. Truth will always come out. So always try to be trustworthy in whatever you're doing. Now, number 4, make them think they are leading the show. I've said this before. When you're discussing with people about lands, telling them about the land, whatever transaction, always make them feel, sir, this is your idea. People, most especially investors, don't want to feel like you're the one telling them what to do with their money. Now look at, helpful strategy is allowed to the other side to think that their ideas are the ones coming to fruition. The person on the other side of the negotiation table should feel comfortable at all times. It's natural for someone to believe that they are in control of the situation, making it more comfortable for them. Use affirmative language that will leave the ball in their court. So if you make them feel like, this ball is your court, they'll trust you more to continue. Because most times people will be like, that's why you meet so many house agents. You know what you want. You want to live in Ikeja. I'm taking you to see lady. Now you know what you want. They're telling you, my brother, let me talk to you. This house is good for you. Now, look at they are too excited. They want to close their daddy. They're telling you, my brother, lady is the best for you. I'm telling them, sir, because of my work, I want to live in Ikeja. It's what I'm looking. They're telling you, no, sir, as you are now, as a young man, if you come, they're trying to make sure, they're trying to just put everything on you. At that point, you're not the one taking the lead. And you'll be able to back off from that day because they're trying to mount pressure on you. They're trying to convince you at all costs against what you don't want. Don't do that in real estate. No matter how desperate you are, if you do that, you lose that deal. Don't try to convince that person too much. Don't try to do it. Some people will tell you, this and people already have their ideas, what they want to do. So trying to convince them, trying to stress them, by convincing them will not make them look as if you're looking for something in the business. So don't do that. These people will tell you, no, sir, this house, you're looking for 3 rooms. I'm telling you, leave 3 rooms, take 2 rooms. I'm looking for 3 rooms. You're telling me to take 2 rooms. Why? They're telling you, no, 2 rooms is okay. You'll be able to save money. They're trying to persuade you to just enter the other one they will make money from. At that point, it's not a good deal. But if they tell you, sir, okay, sir, you want to live in Ikeja, but I'm giving you a house in Sudleri. If they're able to tell you, sir, decide, but look at why I want you to live in Sudleri. Sudleri doesn't have this one, this and that. When they're able to give you those kind of options and leave it for you to decide, at that point, you really want to say, okay, let me continue or let me back off. So always make your prospects feel as though the ball is in their court. Even though it's in your court, leave it for them in their court. It will make them trust you to close that deal more than when you're trying to take control of everything. Allow them to, express themselves. Look at where I want my land. Look at what I want to do. Then follow them up from that angle. Don't just come to take charge. Many people come to take charge. Like, you're not the one holding the money. So don't come to just over empower them or whatever. Number 5, don't act like it is your last deal. Now this is December. Sometimes brokers, sellers, buyers act like the deal in front of them is their last deal of their lives. Do not go into transaction with this mentality. Negotiation table is not a battleground. It's not a do or die affair. Humility and empathy should never be taken for granted. If you are taking a hard approach towards the deal, the other side will become uncomfortable. Negotiating is about finding a win-win situation. Focus on listening to the issues at hand and offer solutions. People most times want to fight because they want to sell. It's not a must. Like I said, not every deal is for you to close. Not every land you must sell. So don't approach this thing. Something now we're in December, the end of the month, and end of the year. Some people will be like, this man that asked me about this land, he must buy. I must sell this land by force. You do mistake. You enter trouble and do mistake. So it is not a do or die affair. It's not you must buy them. It's not like that. It's not like that. That is not your last deal. Other ones are still coming. Now, most times I'm careful with new clients. I'm careful with new prospects because at that point, I'm not even much concerned about them buying or giving me the job or whatever, or the contract. I'm looking at this person. The one who follow this person now will enable this person to recommend me to other people that are coming up. Because one thing you must see in people, you must see beyond people. You must see what is coming after them. What is coming after them? It might be huge. A few months ago, a business client of mine in university those days just called me and said, whenever you come around, I want to give you a gift. I said, okay, no wala. I came around, that was in Abia State. I came around one day, I called him, I'm around. And he came and he gave me a brand new suit. Beautiful white suit. Wonderful. I wore the suit, perfect. Looked like a big man. Give it to me free of charge. Very wonderful suit that if I want to pay for that, it might be up to 20K. Wonderful suit. I love it. I said, thank you so much. I thanked him. Now, recently, I just gave him a job of suit for over 15 people to sew. Contract. Why? Because of that single gift he gave me. That means you look beyond people. Look at what is coming after them, what they can give to you later. So don't just do a deal as if this is your last deal, so you must fight it. No, they did not say it's die by fire deal. No. Other ones are coming. Other bigger deals are coming. So make sure you balance everything. People are too desperate. They want to do everything to close deal. That will lead you to trouble. Now, let's move on to number 6. Let the other party speak first. This is where we have problem. Personally, I don't like a place where I cannot talk. Most times, I'm coming to meet you for something. You don't want to allow me to even talk. You are saying everything. Let me talk now. No, don't talk. I won't continue. At first, never put all your cards on the table. You just come now and say, sir, it's a dry land, though. Look at the price, though. Look at where it is, though. No, don't be pushing all those information. So people say they're full. Too much. Giving all this, everything. Don't put all the cards on the table. Many negotiators stick to the middle ground. Stay quiet and let the other side speak first. Navigate from there. Once everything is on the table, express your figure. You can set it lower, knowing what the potential middle ground will be in this negotiation. You're already ahead. Now, this one is talking about more of normal business, not real estate, because real estate price is fixed. It's not just something to talk about, okay, give me 3 million. It's talking about more of maybe other business you are doing now. Let's say something you can sell for 3 million naira, and you're selling the person is 5 million naira. Now, when you are kind of calm, try to listen to the other person, how much you price and all that. So, but in real estate business, you don't just come to, say or cover everything. Most clients have been scammed before. Most of them, their former transaction did not go well. So if you are coming to now do as if you want to take over everything, they will still back off. They say, I don't trust this person. So if you can hear them out and say, they're telling you, look at how I want to pay. Try to listen to them. I want to pay installment payments. I want to buy from Enugu. I don't want to. So if you're able to listen to them first, try to understand what's their pain, what was their former experience with other people. If you're able to balance all these things, you're now able to know where to come in to help them. Because remember, a realtor is not just somebody that wants to sell land and make profit. A realtor is somebody that is bringing a wealth opportunity to people. You are bringing a wealth opportunity. So you're doing that person a favor of investing in real estate by guiding them. So you are there as a helper to help them. So allow them to speak. Allow them to express themselves, express their pain. The other time we went to Market Storm, with Coach Park, we were moving with him on camera, doing interviews, and they were telling Coach Park, they told him that these other people came and they scammed us, share flyers, and we bought, and our money wasted. Coach Park to them, don't worry, we are tax force. We came to arrest those people. That kind of stuff. Let them know that you are supporting them. Not by, we don't be scammers, or we don't follow. I don't follow now 1,000. You follow. So allow them, he was telling them, we are tax force. We came here to make sure we arrest all of them. So these are things you have to make people understand that you are in the same, pen with them or in the same joy with them. So let the other people express themselves. Okay, so you want to buy land. The land you have is in Enugu. What kind of land are you looking at? What kind of things do you want? Let them talk. Because don't just go and be giving them all the information, this and that. No, allow them to, let them know that you can listen to them, that you want to listen to them to understand what they really want in this deal. Because when a prospect sees that you are attentive, come and sit down here. When they see that you are attentive, you're understanding, they want to do business with you. Because I don't know how many of us were around during our anniversary last year when Mr. Victor Dele was talking about people's temperaments, people's different kind of people. There are people that they are red people, some people they are blue people, some people they are yellow people, some people they are green people. Now, one of the people he mentioned, he said those people, they want to make sure they have all the details. They'll be disturbing you. Hello. Hey, yesterday you told me the line is 2.5. Is this the 2.5? You might want to get angry and be like, actually it's 2.5. You have the flyer there. Everything is there. But those people you have to follow gently because they want to be very, very careful. So some people will be like, please don't be offended. I know I'm disturbing you. Don't be offended. Let them feel comfortable disturbing you. Even if they don't buy from you, the other people they will bring in the future that will help you. Let them feel comfortable disturbing you. Tell them, no problem, sir. No wahala. Most times, people will hire me for a job just to come and do your media coverage. They don't start asking me deep things they should pay me for. Most times, I'll be like, okay, no problem. I will still answer you. I'll even be giving them advice on how to run the event. At that point, I'm trying to be useful. I don't want to just be a photographer that just come and cover. I'm trying to advise them on the kind of DJ they should call, the kind of makeup artists they should call, because I'm into the field. So I'm here to help you, no matter you are paying me for one particular service. I'm here to show that I can support your event. That will not make them trust me to bring me for something else later. So don't feel offended when people ask you such questions. Don't feel, all those kind of stuffs. So let the other party speak, hear them out. You'll be able to know how to negotiate with them. Some people don't want to buy land when you are selling land. So when you hear them speak, you'll be able to change the options for them. And tell them, okay, don't worry, don't go for this place. Go for this place. Just like the story I shared with you about my brother. No, he was ready to buy the land. But when I got involved, I asked a question. Why is this title still proposed or whatever? I don't like that word, propose or proposed. I told them. So now, because I was able to speak and the letter was able to listen to me, she just said, okay, let me do my own research again. And doing the research, she came back and said, okay, don't buy from there. Let me show you where else to buy that have a good title. That was because she was able to listen to me. Assuming she was going ahead and was saying, now I'm sure she closed that deal and they paid her. So assuming she was, you can say, assuming she was saying, sir, look at this one. She did not allow me to talk and whatever. I might tell my brother, I say, guy, no buy the land. And he will not buy. That's the end of the deal. I was come and say, guy, I'm not trust the land, so don't buy again. That's the end of the business. But because she was able to now, remember she was patient, and somebody like my brother is somebody that is so detailed, so disturbing. Before he puts his one letter somewhere, he wants to answer the whole question from grandfathers. Now, I'm sure that after that lady must have been able to date with my brother to convince him At that point, my brother was convinced. So he now had to still contact me again. So for that to be able to go through my brother, all those headache, all those inspection, all those things, and later I now came into the system again. Me, I now came into the picture. Start afresh. For you to be able to be patient means you're not desperate. You're not too excited about the whole deal. So she was able to close it because she was able to listen and understand what these people want and really want. So don't be in a hurry. Oh, guy, I explained this thing to you before. Now, why are you calling your brother again? So that shows that, are you a scammer? You understand? So try to, but just be, see, whenever such days are coming, take it easy. Don't rush things. If it's for you, yes, it's going to be for you. That's if you're doing the right thing. Don't try to look too desperate. Be patient. Because one client might want to bring the whole family member for inspection. Want to say their mind. You understand? Now, I've had these issues many a times. Let me give an instance. Okay, one happened in our phase one of Enugu. Now, the client was based in abroad. She just sent her lawyer to come and buy the land and even start building. And look at what happened. When the lawyer came around, thank God they met Mr. Dixon in the site there. And she was telling him, sir, this place is still bushy. That was as of then, the phase one of Enugu. This place is still, you people are not doing anything yet here. No development going on. So Dixon told him, if you give us only 3 months, you will see what will happen here. But no problem. Let me take you to other estates because that place is in Central City. Let me take you to the neighborhood and so you can check and make any choice of your own. So he took her around. They went to other estates. They went to Central City, bring more city. They went to Central City. They went to some other estates in the neighborhood. And she went there, talked with their MDs, asked them for the price. And many of them, their price was so expensive. 20 million, 15 million, while our own was about 5.5 then, as of then. The phase one. Other people were telling her 13 million, 14 million. So they checked around. She was looking for someone that is a little bit developed so she can start bidding. So after everything, she was like, Mr. Dixon, these people land are so expensive. But if you can promise me that you people will start doing something very soon, I'll buy. So Dixon told him, I told you, I've given you my word. I promise you within the next 3 months, you'll see development here. Because we're already working towards that. And she said, okay, let me buy. And she bought. I think she bought about 2 plots or whatever. And she bought. Now, she was able to buy because Mr. Dixon was not desperate to sell. He knew his product. He knew what he was going to do. So he was not only the other people that will be like, no, I won't take you anywhere. You must buy it here. So feel free. Don't try to drag or hold that thing. He was able to take her to guide her to other people's estates to buy from them. If you don't want to buy from here, to guide her. So she now had that trust of, I think I can buy from these people. If this man was able to do this kind of thing for me. And she bought, and before you know it, they started fencing the land. And she was happy. Development is going on. She was happy that other people kept to their word. So don't try to make that deal as if this is your last deal. Let me just keep myself there. No, negotiate. Name this art of negotiations. Flow with people. Flow with people. It has happened many times, many times and all that. So let's move on. Number 7, understand the real estate market dynamics. This dynamics here means changes. Understand this market changes. What will happen? Now, if you're acting as a negotiator, then you should know the climate of the current markets. Sometimes market rates are inflated. Know the facts before approaching the negotiation table. 1 or 2 transactions are insufficient for reliable data. Now look at what these people are trying to say. People will be calling you to negotiate with you. Now remember, negotiating is beyond price of a land. Negotiating means all those questions they ask you, all those throw questions, interviews they're asking you, is part of the game. Now, understanding the market dynamics will help you, which is the market changes. This land I'm about to buy, in the next 3 years, what will happen to it? If you know, just like for instance now, when I went to Central City in phase 1, that was, I think, last 2 years, November or something, I went there. I saw how the whole place was, development and all that. And then I went there the next 2 months. I was shocked. I said, what was going on? Are people running towards this place or what? Massive, more development everywhere. I said, I just came there 2 months ago. Now, if you're able to understand the place you are selling, places like Enugu now, how it's developing or Asaba, wherever, If you understand the changes going on there, you'll be able to convince your clients more. Because you are sure that look at what happened in phase one. Now, at that point, you have data. You have data from what you have been selling so far. You have had experiences of what have happened. Look at what happened in phase one. It was bushy, but before the next 3 months, development came in and everything, skyrocketed. So understanding these market changes, this current what is going on in the market will help you. For instance, now you're about to sell a land, and the company already told you that this land is still on the promo price, and this promo will end in the next 3 months. Now, you having that thing at the back of your mind will also help you and give you an edge to convince the client. You are telling them, sir, see, most times you need to have evidence. Some of all these flyers we even have, some of all these old flyers, don't throw them away. For instance, now you are seeing a promo price of 2.5 million naira. If you still have the flyer, still keep like 1 or 2 in your house, or maybe on your soft copy, still have it. Now, a time will come when this land now will reach like 5 million naira. At that point, when you're convincing the client, you're telling them, sir, look at the promo price before last 3 months. It was 2.5. Now it's 5 million naira. So assuming you bought then you'd have 2.5 million naira profits right now. So now this one I'm telling you now, you're seeing as a bush. It's still on the promo price. Key in now. You are showing them your data. You are showing them things you have seen. They're saying it's real, that this thing is true. You'll be able to convince them to enter that deal at that point. So understand this real estate market dynamics, the changes going on. Now, let me give instance now. For some of us who are selling buildings, just like very soon now, we're going to launch our own building project and buy and sell and buy and build plan we are doing. We are building bungalows for Vatican Garden Estate that we're going to launch very, very soon. Now, for instance, now, you as a realtor, some of us that market buildings in Lekki, all these areas, if you look at the structure of that building, you need to understand building materials. If you don't understand, go and ask building material people. Understand the prices of these things. Understand how much this tile is worth. Understand how much this paint is worth. Understand how much this roof they use now, how much does it worth in the market? How long will it last in the nearby future? So now, when you're about to market that building, you're telling the prospect or the client that, sir, this house you're about to buy now, in the next 10 years, it will still be relevant. It will not fade because of the paint they used. I've checked the paint. Look at the name of the paint they use. Look at the price in the market. It's very expensive. So you're showing that you understand everything about this building, not about just selling the land or selling the building. If the name is, sir, this roof is step ties in the market. This is the highest roof so far. And it's a very expensive roof. That means that in the next 20 years, this roof now, if you buy this house, it will still be intact. You won't be looking for carpenter again. You are trying to convince them because you have these informations, you have these details. You understand? For instance, now they are showing that, okay, they are telling you, okay, you say this house now is 30 million naira. But I saw the one in the other side is 25 million naira. So, okay, so let me see the picture. Now, if you're able to understand about building materials, you'll be able to differentiate the whole stuff to him and say, okay, sir, okay, maybe these people say this one is 25 million naira because you as a client, you're seeing the thing as the same building. But let me tell you what is involved. So look at the ties. These ties now, this one is more expensive than this one in the market. Okay, look at the electrical parts. Look at the AC they put in the house. Look at the roof. By the time you're able to table all these things, they'll say, yes, this person is knowledgeable enough. Like, this person understands this business. Let me do this business with this person. But if you don't know, you'll be like, it's true. 5 million naira is a huge difference. But you don't understand what they used to build the house. You don't understand this means they use all those stuffs. So being able to gather all these changes, all these things will enable you to have this edge in the negotiation table. I love people that whenever I want to do something with them, they will explain to me and tell me, see, look at this thing. If you want to buy this one, no wahala. But look at why I'm selling this one in this particular price. Look at the reason. Look at why this one is more expensive. So by the time you're able to explain to you, you'll not be the one to make a decision yourself, whether you are buying or not. But first of all, try to explain those things. Personally, I've discovered that every seller that took their time to explain some things to me, I end up buying from them, whether it's more expensive because they explained it. They told me why it was expensive. They gave me the full details. They told me everything. So I'll be more convinced to be like, let me buy from this man since you took your time to explain these things. Yeah, some of them will be like, you're preaching too much. Yes. I still know whether you are preaching for a lie or you are preaching just to sell. So But if I'm seeing facts in what you are saying, and I do my research and understand that this man is saying the truth, I'll still come back to you because you took your time to explain those stuffs to me. Let's move on. Now, continuation of this number 7. Further, you should also know the factors that elevate or deflate property prices. Understand these factors. Okay, this house now, they say it's 30 million naira, but the location is not showing 30 million naira because the location is in a bad location. So it doesn't worth it. So you need to understand the things, the factors that will elevate the price or deflate the price. Now, for example, a new roof is a value added. Is a new value. So that means if somebody is buying a house that has a new roof, that means that new roof can stay there for like 15 years, 20 years. But old one, 5 years, it don't spoil. That means there's some things you need to check before. These are things you explain to the people you are buying from. I mean, people you are selling to, sorry. An old roof is a loss. Basic knowledge of the current real estate climate will do wonders for your negotiations. If you don't have time to study the climate, hire a professional. You will save time and money. So do some of all this research, some of all this stuff. Do research on about it and understand. For instance, now all these lands now, for somewhere like Centenary City in Enugu, where we have our phase 1, that place, that place to come to a point. You know when we want to talk about, for instance, you hear people talk about Victoria Island, Lekki phase 1, all those stuffs. That's one thing that's happening to Enugu very soon. Because if you enter that road, if you see massive buildings, heavy duplexes, you'll be like, who are these people? That place now will become a place that will be like maybe a VIP area. So when you now enter Enugu, you stay in normal common areas after you enter the main VIP area. So if you have land there, it's an advantage for you. So these are the things you understand in this business. They try to explain to people that look at what's happening in this area. Look how people are entering this area. So if you buy land now, that means, by the time people will now come, you're already a landlord. You're already a big boy. Because you took time. You went ahead of them in the whole system. Number 8, make a database of persuasion techniques. Make a list of your recent persuasive endeavors. Practice in day-to-day life. What worked? What didn't? Write down what you wanted, what you said, and the result of the practice. Study your successful techniques in time. You will find what best works for you. Stay consistent and honest. Now, when you are doing all these things, allow your experience to teach you too. Things you have said that worked and things you have said that did not work. Because if you said, for instance, you tell him, sir, this land is a promo price we are selling and it will end in the next 1 month. Now you discover that thing you said worked for you. You're able to close that day before that 1 month. That means you need to be using that same techniques. So always study the one that is working and do that. Don't be using, I don't like people using old patterns every time. And it's not working, we're still using it. If it's working, we can manage. So don't learn to use different angles. Different angles. Try to know what is working and what is not working. For instance, when we go to all these market storms, with our TV crew members, sometimes we try to interview people. And people are so skeptical about cameras. They'll be like, no, I don't want to show on camera. I don't want to appear on camera. Now, I discovered that many times when you approach them, you'll be like, no. I don't want. You people should. I don't want. I said, this one is not working again. So I learned a new technique. I'll be like, I'll just come to office and say, please, ma, what do you do here? What are you selling? They want to tell me, okay, we sell tire, we sell spare parts, this and that, blah, 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 blah. And I'll be like, okay, that means if I interview you now, I'll be able to feature you in our show. I'll be able to feature what you sell and advertise for you. You'll be like, yeah, I mean, let's go, let's talk. At that point, I'm giving a win-win situation. I will record your business, I will show it on our TV channel, and I will still interview you for my own personal use. So try to come in that way. So make all this list of things that have worked for you, things that are not working for you, because what's working for other people might not work for you. You understand? It might not work for you. Some people, some clients, you must take them by yourself to the site before they buy. So don't stick to, it must be C plus that will go. It must be manager that will go. So sometimes adjust. If it's working, if that one is working, you have to check anytime I go. Just like most times, Mr. Dixon will say, whenever I go to Enugu, sales comes than when I'm in Lagos. Yeah, I experienced it many times. That whenever I enter Enugu like this, money will start coming. People will start buying. I don't know whether it's because of his presence or whatever. So to me, that means I'll be going to Enugu often. Any small thing now, you go to Enugu for meeting or whatever. Because it's making progress because of that move. Yes. So always check what works for you. So if it means you need to go to the site inspection for them to buy, go. Enter transport. Go. Call manager. Follow them. They'll take you to the site and make sure. So that you're doing this thing is what works for me. This thing works for me. So check, calculate all these things. Last time I told this man, it's a promo price. He did not buy. Let me know. So try to calculate what have I said that is working. What have I said that is not working? That means whatever you make any sell, you need to cool down and study that success for continuation. What did I do? How did I approach this man? When was the first time I met this man that made him to buy? So if you're able to check, okay, that means I was dressing well that day I met this man. That means let me just start dressing well in case maybe everybody wants me to dress well. Because you are trying to understand these things from your experience. I'm telling you, from your experience. So he helps you, he helps you build your success, build your self-success in a strong way. Strong way. Not like me now. Let me give an instance now. In my own personal business of photography, I don't tell clients or whatever or prospects that I won't be around for their job. No, because most of these people, they hire me because of my personality. They love me and they like me, not because I can carry camera. And at the same time, I have people that can carry that same camera more than me and do a more good job than me. But they don't know them. What they know is me. So when they are calling me for maybe an event, for instance, a wedding or a funeral, I don't come to waste my energy telling them, I will not come, I will send my people. That deal will not close again. They'll be like, if you're not coming, don't worry about it. Let me look for somebody else. So, because even me, I don't even know whether I will come or not come. So I don't just waste my time. I'll just be like, no, we'll be there live and direct. We'll be there. Maybe something will come up, I will not be able to go there. My guys will go ahead of me. Now, I've studied clients for so many years that many of them are always busy on their events day. For instance, if it's a wedding now, the bride or the groom, they are so busy, their head is filled up by where's the drink, where's this one, where's the car, so many things. So they're not even settled. So for you to now tell them again that you are not coming, you are adding to their stress. So they'll start shouting, are you okay? I paid you for this job. Why are you not coming? They'll think the whole job is spoiled. And no matter if you like send the Holy Ghost to that job is not good again. Because you have already spoiled the mood. So most of them will not say anything. My guys will go ahead, they'll ask, where is success? He's coming. They'll position. They'll be snapping everything. They'll cover the whole event perfectly. And after that, same client will be like, I did not come because I say, yes, I was not able to meet you. So no, voila. Your guys did very, very well. They did a wonderful job. You had a good guys. The job is done. I was not there. But if I open my mouth and say I'm not coming, it's wahala. So I've understood that this thing works for me. So no need for me to tell you that I'm coming and not coming again. What I'm after is, after everything, you have a good job, you have a good production, you have a good delivery. So that's it. So you need to study all these things. Study things that you will say it will cost wahala. Things that you will say it will not cost. These things will help you, give you an edge in the business ahead. So these are things you need to plan. Plan these things. Just like the other day, I had somebody just said it in a normal way. The man said, okay, a young guy, he said, it's no good to call business people on Mondays for money. So these are research. Best days to call people. Best times to, because some people, now remember, this is Friday night, weekend. They go home, they'll give money for soup, give money for rice for Sunday, Junior will come and say, Daddy, I'm going back to school on Monday. I need money. They are spending all those money. They go to church on Sunday. They will sow seed, pay tithe, give offering. Church has a building project. They will give money. Those things are not easy. So they have spent money within the weekend. Do not come back on Monday with a very serious mood. Now we need money today. Or let's go to the office. You're not calling them on Monday morning, telling them about money. You're provoking them. That's not the best time I thought to call them. You're provoking them. So these are the things that you need to study. Best time to call people. That means, okay, Monday, they are too stressed. They are stressed. Tuesday, the whole thing continues because work may not finish on Monday. Look at it over on Tuesday. Wednesday is becoming a little bit easy. I say Wednesday, Thursday, best times to call people. Sometimes even on Friday, they might be trying to round up. Let me meet up with this client. Let me meet up with this goose, with this Webby. So they are too busy again on Friday because of the weekend again. So Wednesday, Thursday is balance to call. All those things. So these are research you need to make. Study people based on their business they do before you know how to approach them. Because you don't want to be calling a man who is so busy in Alaba. Yes, some of these men, heavy big men, but in Alaba, once they enter Alaba, they are arboros because they are busy in their business. You don't want to start calling them in Alaba, telling them, Oga, half about the land now. Allow them to come back to the house. Sometimes you can call them late in the night or barely in the morning when they don't go to the office yet. Because if they go to that office, it's over. They have entered another mood entirely. Just like me now, most times, many of us, many people in the East don't know what they are enjoying. If you enter Enugu now, very calm. You'll be driving normal, very calm environment, you just flex around, enter Ori, just flex around, enter Umaya, as if they run away in that area. Everywhere is cool, If you enter Lagos, hey, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. If you enter, anytime I go to the East and come back, once I just enter, bam, Lagos. They'll just change my mindset again. That noise, that busy environment, that's why anybody you take from the East for the first time to Lagos, they are like, what kind of area is this one? As everybody just so that's the thing. Understand where people are, the environment. That's why people in Lagos are not easy to call for money because most of them are angry because of what they are facing. You understand? So understand people's work area, work environment. Where are they working? Where are they going to? So you know how to relate with them. People in the East, yes, they have issues with traffic small, but not like people in Lagos. Somebody in Lagos can be in traffic for 3 hours. It's so frustrating. Calling that person for a big investment. They'll be very, very angry with you. They get that from my phone. You know what I'm passing through? You know what I'm facing? So those things. Just like something happened to me. I like sharing my experience. Something happened to me last week. Last week, Friday, I was driving to the East from Lagos. So I drove, police they just came out for Christmas again. They just feel everywhere in the road, or a road. Police from pole to pole, police everywhere, stopping my car every time they want money. So it was so annoying and so frustrating. So after passing through all those stress, driving through checkpoints, custom will see you, they will stop you. Army will see you, they will stop you, police, everything. And I got to road approaching to Ori. That was in the middle of the night. And one guy from nowhere just jumped out of the road, pointing torch at me. The way I took my car towards him, I wanted to smash him. I wanted to just hit him. Because I was so angry. He saw me and said, hey! You moved that. I drove off. I said, look at this one bunch here. People are face on the road. And you're coming here to the store to harass me on the store. I said, I wanted to hit the guy. I don't care, sir. I wanted to hit him because I don't care about the risk at that point. Yes. This is what people face. This is what so many investors are facing too. They are passing through stress. So learn to know when to come in so you not be a disturbance to them. I said, how can I pass all the stress from Lagos? You're not coming here to stop me. I'll just hit you and go where I'm going to. These are life. These are people. They don't care whether they will make money from that deal you are bringing to them. As fast as you're not coming at the right time. You're not coming at the right time. It's a bad deal already. So learn how to understand these negotiations, how to follow people up. All these things matters in our small day-to-day business. Number 9, friction and no are underestimated, befriend the two. Don't just neglect it. You see, friction and no. When somebody says no, don't neglect it. When somebody say they're trying to argue with you, those things, don't just Just befriend it too. Don't allow it to go. Now look at, you are now entering the master tips of real estate negotiation techniques. Some people are too afraid to say no. You know, this is a disadvantage. The power of no and friction used sensibly can help you tremendously. Friction is good as far as it doesn't violate the rule of not being overexcited or being too difficult to deal with. Now, this friction here now, you know what's called friction? Friction here now stands for when it comes to the trying to contemplate, trying to argue, trying to make some inquiries, trying to go deep, like trying to oppose or counter your what you are telling to them, all those things. No, don't just take it too hard. It's an advantage for you to convince them. Now, but remember, look at what they said. Don't let it violate the rule of not being too overexcited. That you're not too desperate of closing the deal. Now, when somebody is saying, when somebody is afraid to say no, for instance, now a client now, some people be like, I don't want it, Enugu, so no need for you to tell me about Enugu again. They are real, like they are serious about it. When people are telling you, I don't know if I should go for that Enugu land, though, it's an advantage for you to now convince them. Because at that point, they are afraid to say no. Now look at this. There's something called FOMO. FOMO. Yes. It's something that these people in crypto and Forex uses every time. Many people are afraid of missing out in an opportunity. So they have this fear. They have this FOMO. They have this fear of missing out. F stands for fear. O stands for missing out, fear of missing out. So don't when you see such people that they are like, I need to buy this land now. Who knows whether it will increase? That's an advantage for you to give them more reasons why they should buy by showing them evidence of people that have bought some of the transactions, some of estates. You know that look at how they were selling this land before. Look at how much it is now. You bear with me that nothing in Nigeria is coming down, and land will not even come down no matter what. No matter what. You hear people telling you this land they're selling for 50 million naira now. We bought it 5,000 naira per plot. So it keeps appreciating. So these people that have this friction or they are afraid to say no, that's an advantage for you to come up and say, okay, look at what you do, look at what you do. But you must be knowledgeable, like we said. You must have all this knowledge, things you can tell them. Things you can tell them. That's why you need to make research. You need to make research. Research from your colleagues, research from people in the business, such from people, the MDs and all that. Now you see, some days allow yourself, like use some people as a leverage. Sometimes the company you are selling for, that's if they are trustworthy, use them as a leverage. Some people have so many writers that they are trying to close a deal, convincing the clients and all that, all those stressful negotiations. Now most of them now comes to leverage on Mr. Dixon. You ask the person, don't worry, let me send the CEO your number. He will call you. Now, by the time the CEO is calling the person and telling you, Mariotto sent me your number, you say you wanted to buy, there is something the MD will tell the person. The person will be like, I'm buying. Now, to them, they're like, for this man to give me the number of the CEO to talk to, that means he doesn't have any fear at all. That means it means that this is trustworthy. That means this man can convince me. So by the time the MD is talking to the person and telling him, look at how much you have sold, look at this and this, they are not convinced the more to go into the system, to go to invest their money in the land. So learn to leverage on people that that if I call this person now, they will convince this man. Like I give an instance of what happened. Most of my guys, they will give me their phone and say, look at this client, help me and continue with the clients, please. Help me and tell them the price. So when I say, okay, sir, your job is 300K, they'll be like, no, it's too much. I'll be like, okay, let me explain to you why it's 300K. Look at this one. Look at what I would do. Look at what we'll do here. Look at what we'll do here. They'll start considering because I've given them reasons why that job or that service is worth that particular amount of money. So most times you may not be able to convince the people. Leverage on people, your company, leverage on your fellow colleagues, people that are trustworthy, people you can ask questions. And they'll be able to help you out with the whole process. Because most times, that is why even scammers, they know these things. Scammers know that you cannot close that deal alone. You need to engage other people. to help you. To help you. That's why you see all these stuff, they look so real. How can manager call me from Abuja when I'm speaking with somebody in Aba? So they will network the whole thing. Look at this thing is so real. You think it's so real. That's because of they engage in the power of networking. Don't follow them in their own pattern, but do your own in a good way that looks real, that they can even go and make inquiries for themselves, do the search. That's why we are on a website. We have our social media handles. We are not doing this because we want to appear there. It's stressful. It's money. You spend money for those things, being on YouTube, being on Facebook, not because we just want to be there, but because we want to show that we are transparent enough, that you can hold us from anywhere. Do not even through your Facebook, they can trace you. They can come and arrest you through your Facebook, through your WhatsApp. They can. So we have all these things because we are not running away with people's money. We are not hiding. That's why if you come here, you see all these things. All these things are evidences. Look at CAC, look at EFCC, look at Redan certificate. All these things are showing proofs of these people are genuine. These people are real. Okay? So always, that's what I talk about branding the other time. Let people know that you're a brand. Let them not see ordinary agents. They want to chop money and run away. No. Let them see that somebody that has something you can keep. For instance, now, the country is too bad. They see the country as a poverty country. They see the country as where people want to run away, where young people want to run away. Everybody wants to travel. So that's why when you go to the embassy now, they want to stress your life. They want to know, what do you have in Nigeria before you travel? Let's know if you're running away or not. So if you tell them you have land, you have company, like something like company like say Platinum, they say this man cannot run away because you have something that is of value in the country. So always make sure that your clients are seeing your people, somebody that is of value, not somebody that is trying to take 1 million naira, run away and go to Japan. Let them know that you have value. You are worth more than this thing. You are worth more than this thing they're talking about. You have this value. Something happened to me. That was Monday. I was in Owerri, and I got a job in Anambra State to come and cover a funeral. It was a job that came from somebody to me. So I was like, okay, let me just go and do the job quickly before I come back to Lagos. No, I left. I was driving. I left. I was going to Anambra, and the client was calling me. Where are you? Where are you? I said, I am on the road. Now, Monday, there was lockdown in the east every time, so I was driving in the evening. I told her, I was on the road. I am coming. She was shouting, people are missing out. The wakekeeping is going on. I said, Madam, I am coming. Remember, today is lockdown. Along the road, I had a flat tire. I had to change. So I was having so many delays. And she was giving me useless address on how to get there. So it was difficult for me. All those tests and everything. I was asking questions. And the village was deep. That was, it says, Ubomukbo in Anambra State. I don't know how many of you know. Ubomukbo in Anambra State. So when I go there, I go in the night. So when I got there, and I parked, and she called me. I told her, come and see where I am. No, she was angry that I'm coming late by that time. Now, but immediately she came and saw my car and looked at me. She did not say anything again. She saw my worth and my value. When the car was not even my own, it was my brother's own. She saw the kind of car I came with, powerful cars. Not ordinary car we see in Lagos, Jaguar, powerful Jaguar. When she saw it, she was like, this guy, no, let me small boy. So I cannot talk to him anyhow. If you see what they gave me to sleep, one duplex. I'm telling you, these are things that people see. People want to see what they used to respect you. So even in the morning, they were waiting for me the whole people were waiting for me to calm down before we go to mortuary. Because I was not another photographer. If not, they'll be shouting at me, are you mad, Fazi? No, I was a big boy. So they were giving me my big boy away. I'm telling you. They were asking me, have you eaten? Are you going to eat? Not be another photographer, they ask that kind of question. Most times we go to events and we are struggling to even find food and eat. They were asking me, are you going to eat? Do you want to? I said, no, I don't want to eat. All those things. So when people see your value and your worth, they want to do business with you. I've said it the other time we went for a job too. The same packaging. It was big men. If you see house they were building, they wanted to do housewarming. They have print flyer, print banner. So everything was ready for the event. That was last December in our village. My brother said, man, this man is a big man. Let's go and cover the job. So he said, we need to go here in the package way. It was a house that finished building. They were even doing something fast so that they can meet up with the date. So we packaged ourselves, took our cars, 2 cars, powerful cars. My brother entered, wear his own apparel. All of us were on uniform. All of us were on native, the same uniform. Imagine photographers were on uniform, native, powerful ones. All of us, we came in. Now, you see, even all these big men you want to follow, you need to follow them as a big man before they give you that job. We came there, a new house. We came there and we were blowing horn on the gate for them to open gate for us to enter. So the people were like, we don't know, we know that our God people they come, but then the politicians they come, more open gates. So they open gates. We drove in with the 2 cars. Boys came down, opened door for my brother. Bam, my brother came down like a big man. Say, I want to see your boss. I want to see your guy. But they're telling you with confidence. You'll be like, who be this one again? Now, these are people that normally, if you go there, you'll be like, Oga no dey. The man is not around. They come back later. You will not see that man. But immediately when they tell him, I want to see your guy, tell him somebody came to see him. They went, the man came down from upstairs to see people that came to see him. That was how we got that job. They already have the photographer, but we came and covered that job as the official photographer because of the way we came in. So, Coach Park was talking about guerrilla marketing the other day. All this small packaging, not if you're living a fake level, all these small tips, small packaging helps you to close these days faster than appearing a common person. I'm telling you, this life, hey, okay, okay, I'm telling you. So these things are very, 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 very important. So let's move on. Now, look at this. For example, saying no at the right time during the deal can be extremely persuasive to another person. They might get nervous that they weren't able to offer a win-win situation, or perhaps they are under financial constraints. Don't be afraid to walk away. When somebody is telling you, give you useless conditions to buy land that want to affect you, even you, by telling you, you people must give me a corner piece in the same price. So trying to stretch, that whole conversation, that whole convincing, looks as if you don't even know what you're doing. Because you know that from the normal rules and regulation, corner piece attracts extra amount in every real estate company. Or look at some other examples. So try to explain to them and just leave it. You understand? Because if you're trying to now overkey yourself for them, they will take advantage of you. At that point, you have been stressed. They will not say where they land from you. So even if it's a bluff, the power of no can help lead you to your bottom line. Sir, no, it's not working like this. Look at how it will work. Look at how it will work. Even your normal business, look at how it will work. Look at how it will work. No, it won't work. So knowing when and where to apply these things will really help you and save you from a lot of stress and save you. Okay, something happened the other day. I was about to close a deal with a client. It was a funeral. And no, because I and my brothers were in the same company. We use the same company name. Now, the person told me, I've started your brother before for this same job, but he refused because of the price. I said, okay, no problem. I called my brother and said, look at this man. This man said he's telling you about the same job. And he said, yes, the man doesn't have time for that man. That man is offering him small money. That I should talk with the man. If the man is able to pay me well, then I will go and do the job. I said, okay. So I went back to the man. Now I took a leverage from my brother. Remember, the man backed up because of price with my brother. So now I came up, I gave him a higher price. He said, your brother gave me a small price. Now I give me a higher price. Okay, no worry. I said, okay, since look at what happened. And I gave him 50,000 naira difference between that price. That was able to go for me. I told him, my brother will be angry because of this deal. My brother is not angry anything. I think my brother will be angry because of this deal, but he said I should just collect it from you. So you know what, I will pay. Because it's not saying that he's having an advantage that he's going to pay me lesser money. But me, I knew it was a good price. But because of he has spoken with my brother before, I did a connection with him. I told him, look at what I'll collect from the man. He said, no problem, go ahead. So I was not telling him, remember what my brother told you, the price he gave you is higher than my own. So you need to give me the job. So he was able to give me the job with all his heart because he was saying this one is a good deal for me. So knowing when to use no, yes, knowing when to use all those opportunities to make that deal really help you in closing deal faster. Let's move on. The last one, number 10. Know the other party, like I said earlier, and study their goals, know what they want. Look at this thing. Rushing towards a negotiation without familiarizing yourself with the other side is a disadvantage. To create a win-win situation or leverage using friction, you must know and consider the goals of the other party. Say the other side specializes in industrial real estate and is seeking a new production facility. For instance, now, if Dangote is calling you for land now, one thing that will come to your head is Dangote is calling me. Dangote, what does he want to use this land to do? Now, if you study Dangote and discover Dangote is always buying land for industry, for facility, that will not help you to know that, okay, this man will be asking me more of commercial estate or industrial estates. Let me gather my information around that area. Let me gather my information around that. Let me check all the companies I sell land for. Let me check the ones that have those industrial estates that are available for sale. Gather them together before you meet him. It's not when you meet him, let me go and check, sir. It's not professional again. So if you're able to study this prospect ahead of time, this man always buy land from Ibejuleki. The other time he bought land was Ibejuleki. So that means he might likely ask me for Ibejuleki again. Let me go and gather the information for Ibejuleki before he asks me. So being able to study these people, because most of these people are people around you. Some of them are your neighbors, some of them are your friends. Knowing the kind of people they are, the kind of places they are looking up to, the kind of things they like will help you give them the right products to buy. And because this land now, this stuff now, most people, they want to believe you have it in your hands. So when you tell them, wait, let me get it, they'll be like, no, don't worry. I'm not coming again. Let me just go to another person. So if you are prepared ahead of time for them, that means when they're asking you, you have it already with you, prepared. You have every information they need. You're able to close the deal faster. So learn to study what does people want. What kind of people are these people? What do they want that you can offer to them? Now, with your upfront knowledge, you will be better able to note the industrial property highlights. Give the other side a hint that will help lead them towards their next goal. Ideally, the hint is subtle, yet powerful. This can only be done if you have familiarized yourself with the person at the other end of the negotiation table. The same thing I'm talking about. Just, for instance, now, somebody is talking, so that this person always buy land from Aja, always buy land from Asaba, or Enugu. Okay, let me give an instance now. You have a neighbor who is from Imo State, and he's asking you, how far about this your land you used to sell? Which one is available? Knowing fully well this is an Igbo man from Imo State or from Anambra State, you should be able to give him a hint on his area. We have land in Anambra is developing, right? Because you're giving me a hint to take a lead. Not telling him about Aja when he's from Anambra State. But we're like, I want to buy from my own. So when you're giving them that lead in the area, they might likely invest because you know them that they're from that place, and they might likely go to that area. It will help them close the deal faster because you're already helping them come towards their goals or towards their dream or what they want. So studying these things will help you go a long way. I don't know. I think that's the end of my topic today. I hope this point of mine have been able to explain to you and to convince you that understanding the acts of negotiations is very, very powerful in closing this. Thank you so much. Thank you. Do you have questions? Okay, let me rewind. Okay, let me just rewind and recap what I said earlier. Some things that I was talking about 10 tips you need to understand in the real estate industry. Now, I said number one, never act too excited in closing deals. Don't go and budget. I have many of my boys in this thing, they do the same mistake. Don't go and budget what you use the money to do when the money has not come. They'll tell you, this money now won't enter. I don't go buy phone. I will just change my phone, sharp. When that deal will fail, it will crush you. It will disappoint you too much. It will break your heart. Young people in love, that have planned how they're going to live their life. Will born 3 children, will live in Dubai, will give birth to a fair guy and a fair boy. Young people in love, they have planned their life, plan, how they will marry, plan the wedding gown they will wear. It happened to me now. Plan the suit they will wear. When they will give you breakfast, that stress of everything you have planned for will disappoint you too much. It will not give you a heartbreak to make it pain you very, very well. But if you're there with one leg, like if you walk, milk will go. If you don't walk, milk will come out. It won't really affect you. But if you put your whole life there, hey, if you don't walk, you'll be like, what kind of rubbish is this one? To pain you. So don't overdo. This land now. That means my commission is 800,000 naira. That means that 800,000, I'll just give landlord now 200K. Then I'll just use 400 that I put in my shop. That money never enter. That money has not entered. You're acting so excited. That will make you make mistake. That will make you do everything just to make sure you close that deal, even do the wrong ones. Even maybe sell the land in a very cheap rate that will even cut your commission to like 200K. Those things. No, don't act so excited. You can be excited, but hide it. Don't act so excited. When you're excited, go and pray. Say, God, I beg, look at what I'm thinking. Make it work out. That will make things perfect. That's my number one. So number two, I said, knowledge is power. Know your goals. Gather the knowledge you need before you negotiate. You are going for an interview and they're about to ask you what you read in school. It's not that you start doing the research of what you answer them. Gather it. Have this knowledge up front. Have everything about the land. Have informations, vital, convincing information. Now remember, you are a realtor here. The other party is a client, and they're the one bringing the money. Most clients have done their own underground research. They want to throw you with questions and fire with questions, and that they're expecting answers. So if you don't have these things up front, you lose balance. They'll take you off balance. So gather this knowledge together that will help you to have this edge over them. Knowledge is very, very powerful. Number three, I said trust should be earned, not lost. No matter what you are doing, don't ever jeopardize with your integrity or your trust. Because one thing about trust is most times it looks as if it's not working or it's not going to work instantly. Most times you may say, I'm not going to sell this land. Maybe the land will not sell or you will not close the deal. What matters most is that you are trustworthy. What matters most is that later, these people can recommend you to other people because they say that this person have integrity. Trust. Very, very, very important. Trust. Something happened to me when I traveled. I went to cover a wedding. Now, this was a contract of traditional marriage and white wedding. Traditional marriage, I was not able to go. I sent my boys. They went ahead of me. They did the job perfectly. The client called me. She was happy. She said, you people did well, but you did not come. We said you are coming. I said, I'm sorry. Now, during the white wedding, she called me and said, are you coming for the white wedding? I said, yes, I'm coming. So you said you are coming. I'm waiting for you. So I gave her my word. Now, when the white wedding came out, it was not easy for me to go. I said, if I not come for this white wedding now and I not come for the trad, the person will be like, this is your pattern. So maybe next time you don't want to recommend me to other people. So I strive to go, and I went there. When she saw me say, you later came out, thank you for coming. They were so happy to see me. I did not even do anything. I did not even hold any camera there. But because my parents was just there, because I was trying to make sure I meet up with my word and integrity that I am coming. I did not say I might or I will not. I'm not sure. I said I am coming. So it was a sure thing that I must be there. So most times, don't put your trust at stake or integrity at stake. It will affect your later future business. Now, you might not know because it will not come. That's the only thing. It's only when it comes you will know. Some people will be like, I wanted to give you this business, but because of what you did, I did not give you again. You don't know. Nobody will talk to you. You might think, market is not coming, nothing is happening. But because of a mistake you did 1 or 2 times in the previous, that is affecting your future. So always make sure your trust is something that is earned. And I said, number 4, make them think they are taking the lead. Many clients and prospects want to believe they're in control of the whole negotiation. They're in control of the decision. Make them think they're taking the lead. They want to have this pride of, I was one that said, let me buy from Enugu. I was one that said, let me buy from Asava. They want to have that pride. They don't want people that will be telling them. People don't like people telling them, I helped you to succeed. If it's not for me, you will not be the billionaire. I was what I give it. No, people don't like that kind of thing. So allow them, even though you don't want giving them that idea, still allow them to take that lead. So most times, bring these things. So look as if you have any desperate plan or interior motive. Bring this thing like a suggestion to them. So have you looked into this Asaba area? It's a good place. Do your own research. Let them come up with that decision, not forcing them. My knowledge and experience have made me laugh at so many agents when it comes to house. I was looking for a shop a few months ago. I laughed tired. I know what I want. I know what I'm looking for. And you are forcing me, telling me this place is good. I'm telling you now, now you go pay. Maybe I know what I want. I'm telling you, see, now they are even trying to teach me my business. They're trying to teach me what will go on in that. They're telling me, see, these people now, they'll come and patronize you. I said, oh God, leave that thing. I know what they look for. So because they are too excited, they are too desperate to close that deal. So if they are leaving me to make my decision myself, yes, I'll still be calling them because I'm the one taking the lead. Even if they can be manipulating me in a little way, but as far as I feel like I'm the one in charge, I'm the one making the decision, I'll be comfortable. So don't try to convince a client to buy. They'll think you want to steal their money. Don't try to overstretch the whole matter, sir. You miss out, come and buy, you lose the deal. So leave them to take their lead. It's their money, it's their stress and everything. Number 5, don't act like it's your last deal. Don't be too desperate. This in December, I must use this deal and go for Christmas. It must work. You'll make mistake. Don't act as though it's your last deal. Other deals are coming. Most of these people, these prospects, they might not buy from you, but their brothers can buy from you. Their sisters can buy because they have seen you are a trustworthy person. You have been able to guide them to buy from other places. Yes, it's not your own market now. You're able to guide them. This is one thing I like about Igbo men. You come to their shop, they don't have that goods, but they want to help you to buy it. You know why? They're like, maybe next time you will come back. It happened to me. That's why I see everything in life teaches me. Everything. See this thing called customer service. Very, very important. I learned from everything. I was in Ore. Just because I drove past so many shops selling bread. That was Bini. I drove past so many shops selling bread. I was just going on my own. Many of them were rushing me, stop here. I said no. And I parked somewhere in front of a woman's shop. So she just rushed me, boom, customer, take. Now after everything I bought from her, she came back and gave me bottled water. Said, take, I dash you. I said, I don't get money. I know. He said, no, and I dash. So next time you go park for here too. Customer service. So now, next time I'll be like, where is that woman that gave me bottled water? Yes. Let me park again because she appreciated the first one. The other people were struggling, rushing me, fighting. But I came to her own shop, JJ, and parked. So she was like, see grace. She appreciated the grace. So that's why don't take the grace of God for granted in your life. Oh. Learn to appreciate God. Learn to give to God. Many of us now, this Sunday is our Thanksgiving Sunday. Go and give God something. Oh. So don't act as though it's your last deal. And I said number 6, let the other party speak first. Allow people to express themselves. Let them talk what they don't want and what they want. They don't want to buy from Enugu. No, don't try to force them. Let them speak because by hearing them out, you might be able to even find advantage or how you can help them. They'll benefit you. Okay? They'll benefit you. The person might tell you, okay, I want to buy from Enugu. And you now pack all the whole Enugu Ghana must go, all the whole Enugu documents, everything. Go and meet them. They'll start telling you, the other time I bought from Enugu, I don't really like how the thing go. I don't really like the host. I lost money there, this and that. Assuming it was somewhere like Asaba. Now, because we're able to listen to them, you did not argue with them. You are not fighting them and say, oh, guy, you told me to bring Enugu. Now, I bought Enugu. You're telling me nonsense. You don't close the thing. So when you listen to them, you're like, yeah, assuming it was Asaba now. I even prefer Asaba. And you have Asaba. Yeah, I have Asaba too. You want Asaba? Let's go to Asaba. So hear people out. It will help you know how to help them, and at the same time they are paying you for it. So let other people speak. Stay quiet sometimes. Let other people speak. It has happened to me. Normally, I've learned this practically my life in almost every field. I don't show myself too much. I don't talk too much. I don't show what I can do on my level. I allow people to discover it for themselves. Because I used to tell my guys these things, even in our media world. I said, in this media world, it is so vast that you can learn from your colleague. You can learn a lot from somebody that just started the business in 1 year, but you've been in the game for 5 years. You can learn a lot because it's too vast. So somebody knows something here, and you know something in this other place. So if you're able to stay humble, you'll be able to learn the one that person knows and have an edge. That is why even in C+, all the whole colleagues I've worked with, I've learned a lot from many of them. Most times, I and my friend Albert, used to say it. He will just be like, "Look at the way I'm making your life." We'll laugh. Look at the way I'm making your life. Because we have been in this business for years, doing this media work. Most times, you tell me, "What are you doing? Do it this way." I just look at a simple way to do it. I'll be like, "I never knew." Same thing with me. I'll be like, "No, look at the way to do it." You learn from people because you don't know it all. So I don't talk too much. I'll try to learn because by the time I keep quiet and listen to you, I'll be able to learn from you, learn the ones you know, and add it to the ones I know. At the same time, I'm making more waves more than you. So let the other party speak. You'll be able to learn more. Number 7, understand real estate market dynamics. Talking about real estate market changes. Understand what will happen in the next 3 years in this land. Understand what will happen in the next 3 years in this building. I made mention of people selling building, Understanding these dynamics will help you know how to convince clients. For instance, now, the kind of roof the company used to roof the building, the worth of the roof will help you convince the client and say, "Sir, these people use a quality material in building this house. Look at the roof. I know how much this roof is worth in the market. Look at the paint. Look at the tiles." Understanding all these changes, all these dynamic stuff, all this stuff will help you, convince people to enter that deal because you're giving them details. You're showing them you know what is going on. You know what is going on. You know everything about this business. You're telling them, look at the glass they use. The glass for the window is a quality glass. This is 2.5 mm. You're telling them all those things. You know how much it is in the market. You're telling them, "Sir, this glass now, if they throw it tonight, it will not break." But this other one, you're comparing the price with, they use a smaller. So, knowing all those things will help you that the people will be like, "This guy, you know what you're doing. Let me buy. Even though it's expensive, let me buy. You know what you're doing." So understand the market dynamics. Then number 8, I said, make a database of persuasion techniques. Talking about the things you have used, which one have worked for you. Telling them that the land is going to end in 1 month. Like telling them that the land is in promo price, is going to end in 1 month. Did he help you? Did he help you close the deal? So whatever you have done that have helped you close deals, gather them together and start using them. Be consistent and be honest with them. Okay, you told them that this land has other charges and is not working for you. So know things you have said that worked and things you have said that did not work. So gather all this information. Sorry. It will help you to close deals easily. Know the things that have worked for you and things that have not worked for you. Just like sometimes I do flight bookings for people as a business too. And one thing that works for me every time, which is very, very true, is that you ask me how much is this flight, for instance, to Owerri or to Enugu, so date. And I'll tell you, for instance, maybe the price is 30K. And I will tell you that, "Sir, this thing, you're telling me, okay, I will get back to you. Now remember, you asked me today how much was the flight. Maybe that flight is next week. And I told you it's 30K. I will tell me and say, "Sir, please, this flight I said is 30K. In the next 24 hours, it will increase definitely. So please make your decision now. You want to book it now or you want to book it later? Because definitely once it's night and overnight, it will increase." Most of them will be like, "Okay, no, wala." The next day they'll ask me, they'll say that the price is now 40K. It has increased. They haven't seen the evidence there on the chart. So that's why most of these things, when you tell people, they'll be like, let me just do it now so that I will not accumulate higher charges later and all that. So other things that have worked for you. And then number 9, I talked about friction and no are underestimated. Befriend the two. Don't try to say, like when people are saying there's an advantage for you, friction about arguing, asking you questions, all those things, work with the two of them. work with the two of them. You'll be able to get something out of it. Don't when people are too afraid to say no, when people are afraid to say no, like somebody's like saying, this your land in Anambra self. I don't want to meet when they're like contemplating, that means they are afraid to say no. So you can take advantage of that by trying to convince them on why they should enter, why they should key into it. Because at that point, they're afraid of missing out of the deal. So take advantage of that and don't just sit as it's not serious. They're trying to understand before they enter. Then number 10, which is the latter, said, know the other party and study their goals, study what they want, the kind of people they are, where they are from, the kind of land they love buying, the kind of investment they like doing. If you know all these things, it will not help you to make your own research on what to present to them. What to present to them. You should be happy to make your own research on what to present to them. A young man like me, let me give an instance now. What will I use now? Let's say somebody like me that wants to buy a car. If a car dealer and you see a young man like me that wants to buy a car, one thing that must come to your mind is that I'm not even thinking of how many years the car will stay, but I'm thinking of how beautiful is the car. So it will help you to go and check for more of beautiful cars. Not be bringing 504 for me and trying to convince me that 504 is trustworthy, is a very strong car. That is not what I'm looking at. That you can tell that to my father. It's not what I'm looking at. So understanding me will help you bring out more product that will convince me to buy quickly, because look at what I want. People of my age, look at what they're looking after. Look at what they're looking for. So you don't come and be convincing me with 544 and all those Peugeot something. So that was everything I said, and then I'm done. So thank you so much. If you have any question, let's answer the question. If you have any question, and let's move on.
Clients have been going on, so but client is no problem.
Okay.
So I wanted to go and see one of the insurance company.
Okay.
The insurance amount that now sent the friend of the to go and see. But after seeing the friend now, although he told the boss that he's coming back, and when I called him, he said that the place somehow swamped me. So I was trying to convince him. He didn't get it. But why I'm asking this question, I don't know why. Then I started calling my brother, the one that sent him to go and see. The young man refused to pick the call. So I don't know why.
It's a normal thing that
I
happens.
was convincing this one, okay, since he did not like that particular one, someone told me there is another place that she has a land.
Yes.
That one is 5 million. So I now told the guy, okay, see this one. He said he already has a land. I don't want to.
Good deal.
I now transfer him to Asaba. He said no, that he had gotten. I said okay. So I was like convincing him that particular one. He said that I don't think that you like. But my problem now, why is my brother refusing to pick my call?
Hey, because they've already given the information.
Let's say at least, yes.
I'm not your brother. No, I understand you. You know, I understand you now. Let me. No, yes. Yeah, I understand you. No, let me tell you. Is a free question, though we can give advice from that. Yes, from our you see wisdom now. He's another number and call him. But that is the thing. No, but exactly. Now remember, no, exactly. Now you see, you even have, now you see, you even have more. You even have more option now to meet him face to face. That will make things easy, because now we had that challenge here. The other time we were on a live video chat with the manager of Enugu. Then we were having that conference table we had here, and he said something. He made mention of that thing, that most people most prospects will send their brothers or their sisters who are negatively minded. They don't know anything about real estate. They don't even know anything about how to develop. They have to tell them, more brother, about more here. You see, now they are trying to appear good as per. Let me give a good report of what I saw. You understand? They tell you, here is a bush. Oh. At that point, even you that has that real estate eyes, the investor will not be seeing it again. You'll be like, let me just back off. Exactly. So most times, try to convince the person. Can you make out time and see it for yourself? Now, if you are sending somebody, also explain to them and say, see, look at my experience with people sometimes. Some people just come in and talk no nonsense and just tell them ahead of time about what the person might say. But telling them, you see this person you send now, let you not come and be telling this person is bush or forest too. That's why I say come and see it for yourself and know if it's what you want, because this person can give you a negative report. And you might be thinking I'm telling you good reports for you to come and buy the land, and somebody is giving a negative report not to buy. So it's also difficult. As most times, even prayers, and remember, like I said, not every deal is your deal. So don't go and kill yourself for everything. Mm. Yes.
So eventually, there was a lot of negative
Comments. Yes.
regards to other estates, how they are being treated.
Yes.
So myself, I was not happy hearing that, because I don't know why people are being so wicked.
I don't understand.
So I felt very pity on all these kind of stuff.
Yes.
So eventually there was a couple which I met in their store. So eventually they asked me. So I told them, okay, fine. They said they want a land or a house or something of that nature. To pressure. I said, okay, no problem. I will try my best. So I got some contacts actually that very day. So I went back home, just to follow up as usual. So I happened to call the man that said he wanted land. So actually, when it comes to terms of business, the conversation on phone is actually quite different.
Yes. It's quite difficult, sir.
So my mind was that I wanted to talk to him, to meet face to face. So when I called him, I told him, sir, we have to do this like that. So he gets so upset. He was angry with me. So he starts calling me on phone. I said, I'm very sorry. He said, why am I disturbing him during his semester? I said, I'm very sorry about that. I didn't know you were having this time. So is that why you called?
Yes.
I said, okay, I'm very, very sorry. So what I did, he actually found it directly and he was responding. So I let it go. So after a few days, then I started making a research. I started looking around. So what I did, I have to contact somebody, another friend, somewhere else in another estate. I asked him, do you have any estate, any land close to that is fair? Then the lady said yes. I said, okay, can you send it to me? So eventually she sent a Vesta. Avenue 9, still behind Avenue 4. So I have to use that first time, then I forward to him. So when I forward that to him, so he did not reply. So something came into my mind, touched my mind, asked me to do a research, because I always do a research on all the time. So I went in to do a research on that, and eventually I found out that there is a regulation going on. Investor. So I was a bit down. My spirit was down. I wasn't happy because I already forwarded that to him. Yeah. So I was thinking of maybe to tell him to forget about that, because I was having too much. So what I did, I finally let it go. So
not every.
So it has still growing. So I started making a research. So eventually I got another place. So I sent, but still he doesn't reply. I know he's still angry, but that has not stopped me from continuing waiting. So if I still got somewhere else, I'll still forward to him. Despite it, I know maybe one day
You will still see
he
it.
will still.
That's one thing about human being. Not every deal is your deal to close, and not every deal is your last deal. So, but applying wisdom here helps you so much. That issue of inspection, that one is a very critical issue. I'm telling you. Yes, these are people that knows about real estate. They know that those people they know they have experienced it before. They know how that is developed. They know the deal. So anybody you see that is so skeptical about it since they are still new babes in the stuff. People that have been buying land know how land does, so they don't even care about that guy. That's what I'm saying now. That guy at that point, see, even
The guy is selling land or buying
He
land.
used to be, but he told me that he had land.
So what happened there that the guy wants to sell
exactly.
and market it? That's what happened.
So many things can happen. You know, that's why I need to pray. Do so many things. Many things can happen. People might want to just give bad reports. Even most times, do you know that it's possible for a client to send it's possible for a client to send somebody for inspection, and the person is sending his enemy to him. You know it's possible.
It happened to me,
The person is an enemy.
Somebody sent someone to go and see, and the lady did not even go. He started calling the person.
That is-
Okay, I was calling because the person that sent her is in abroad,
Uh.
and I was calling the lady to go and see. She refused to pick my call.
Mhm.
Even the MD refused to pick the call. Later, he now went and told the woman that when the man called him and told him the place is bush.
So the people that they are enemies to even the person, they're trying to stop the person's progress. So that they are like, okay, you're sending me for inspection. When I don't have money to balance, you have money to balance. I come and buy. Let me see. Some of them are demons. They're gonna tell God, good. So that's why I'm saying. I'm not talking about you as a real authority to counter so many things, even spiritually. So all those things. So
The woman said when I traveled for rest,
So there are just so many things to do. Possibly, they are sending somebody for inspection. The way you treat that person shows the report the person will throw. I'm telling you, just ordinary gala you bought for that person, ordinary mineral you bought for the person can affect the person's report. I am telling you the honest truth. So even your own behavior, the way you treat the person, let's say, for instance, some people will be like, are you mad? I'm waiting for you since. Where are you? That thing can spoil that deal. So please give it to her to charge for you. So being good, the way you treat people can help. Maybe for instance, they might be like, because let me tell you, people most times gives those reports naturally from what they are seeing with their physical eyes. Because they don't know anything about real estate. It happened to me. I, Mr. Jason, went to a particular land to buy the land for development. When we got there, it was asking me, so how is this place? I said, sir, no, because of me then, with my eye. To them, sir, sir, it's good though. But sir, yeah, it's still deep. He laughed. No, he laughed and said, you don't even know how phase 1 of Enugu and Asaba was before. If you see it, you say, yeah, it's even developed. See, he told me that Asaba phase 1 was forest. Then, that time when you are driving a so-called client, to go and see the land, they will leave you on reverse when you are still going in the front. They think you want to kidnap them. They run away. The first phase 1 in Asaba, they run away. So he told me from his experience that this place is even developed. No, he was not able to convince me to not believe in the place. But assuming that was somebody just sent to go and check, I'll be like, no, sir. Yeah, it's not good. You understand? It happened in the Bible. They sent spies to go and spy the land. So other people came and said, oh, these people will kill us. They are too big. So most times you have to pray, counter every wahala, every temptation that wants to spoil that deal. And apart from that, the way you treat the people too, and the way you explain to them, yes. You're asking me now. You want me to convince you. Okay, it's no longer an enemy now. We're not marketing enemy again now. We move to enemy. We check our flyer. We change a little location, just a little bit from the former one to the next one. Yes, near to the one. Yes, that NPC said. So check the flyer to see more details. Some of all these things there. One of the ways I make my research is this. You see, Google have helped us in so many things. You can even go to Google and type a particular location. Go to images. You see pictures of maybe nearest bus stop. You see so many things about the place. You even see satellite picture of the area. Like first time in Ibuzo Asaba, when I was working on the video, I just typed Asaba, Ibuzo Asaba. And on Google, I saw pictures of the environment. I saw how it was. And when I went there, I saw that it was real. So all these things, you can make research yourself. Try to check Google, you see some images, check neighborhood, call people you know too before going there. You call you. This is when follow-up goes in now. You don't disturb them. Give them their space too. I will call you when I'm ready. I'll call. Some of them are like, they don't want to disturb you. They want you not to disturb them too. So the best thing for you to do is just have their contact once in a while. Then leave them, give them like 2 weeks, 1 week. These things are systems you follow people up. Systems you follow people up before they respond. People are so difficult to deal with. And mostly when it comes to investing, so difficult to deal with. You have to be patient, know when to call them and everything. So, but last, one of the general advice I will give in all these things is this. You see, like I said, some of the things I listed are key facts, principles to apply. But knowing when to apply them is also important. Knowing the best time to apply them is very, very important. Okay, sir.
Another thing okay, if we look at this house now, that you may not notice if you don't have the experience. There's some place like this.
Okay.
I've been going out to site or something like that.
Yes.
So I happen to notice a lot of things, which the house they are building is it looks very nice.
Okay.
But inside there's a lot that has been missing. Okay, what I'm trying to say is this. Okay, the last, about 2 weeks ago, the site we went, when I observed it, when I went to what he doing, so I noticed a lot of things when we come together over there to the meeting. So I started asking a question to the engineer who tried to explain things about the building. He just told me that everything is there, all is there. He wants to talk about. At the end, then he came behind me and said, well, what is this I have my body? I said, what I'm into that today. So I know all about it. So I just want to be sure or know. So what I'm explaining is this. This building you see here, there's something they call sprinkler system. If you watch most of the Europe, Asia or Dubai or wherever, there are buildings, whether low or high, sky building. There's a lot of equipment that helps those buildings to last long and to maintain it. So what I'm referring is there's something they call alarm system, there's something they call sprinkler system. If you watch Nigerian system of how you find out that it's quite easy to cut into fire.
Yes.
So simply because
no alarm system,
all these things are not being in place. So now Nigerians are throwing this overseas kind of thing, and I believe all these things should be in, because in the next future it may not know what will be in there.
Okay. So some of all these features should be in.
Should be in to protect.
Yes.
Because
and to give more value.
We're in a smart system world, and it's
yes.
our own system.
Yes.
I believe all these things have to
okay.
be into it in case of any alcohol.
Okay. We're working on that, Sha. So thank you so much for coming around. Very, very important. So remember, apply the principles, pray, pray, cancel some nonsense, small demons. I want to stop your progress. And then do the right thing. Thank you, sir. Yes, video. Yes. Yes. No, it was playing. No, it doesn't go up. You maybe just allow it to play here. Now, Chibike himself has been delaying his progress in that aspect because I've been telling him, come, let us change it so we can redo the new one. He said, okay, we'll come today. Today we'll not see him. So that's what I've been. I don't know what's anybody can do. We have been given that platform since we've been saying Mondays is are the best days where all the whole media. Yes, Mondays we have all the whole TV guys, all the whole media guys are around to shoot. So before the Friday, they might be done with your editing.